Hi, I'm Krishnan from Geedesk. This is a short demo of Geedesk, and in this demo we will be covering some of the core features of Geedesk. To start with, Geedesk is a cloud-based guest complaint and request management software. It helps hotels manage their guest complaints and requests effectively. So in a typical scenario, what happens in hotels is when the guest is calling, with a complaint or for a request, the hotels receive the call and then they enter it in something called a call log register. Right? And all the process that follows after entering into the call log register is completely manual, where the person who receives the call passes on the request to the right person in the right department manually, and after that there is absolutely no check and record of the fact that if this complaint or request was resolved in the right time, or was there a delay, if there was a delay, why there was a delay, and things like that. Now this creates a scenario where there is no transparency in the operations, and the management has no idea on where things are going wrong and where the focus has to be, and things like that. And even when you look at the negative reviews that predominantly circulate on the internet for a particular hotel, is also related to delayed service or slow service, right? Now this is exactly the problem that Geedesk solves, where it helps employees become much more efficient and much more accountable while they are servicing the guests, and also gives real analytics to hotels to help them understand on what exactly is happening with their guests. Are they being serviced properly? What kind of complaints they are facing? How these complaints can be avoided in the future, and things like that. Now, having said that, let's get into the demo. In a typical scenario, assuming that Geedesk is implemented in a particular hotel, when the guest is calling the respective department with a complaint or a request, instead of noting it on the call log, the employee will select the room number and the issue type, and then click on Create Ticket. Now, the moment this happens, the ticket gets created, and what Geedesk does is it finds the right person in the right department and assigns this ticket to that individual. Now this person, once the ticket gets assigned, receives an SMS on his phone. Now this doesn't have to be a smartphone, it can be a simple phone which can make calls and receive and send SMS. So when he receives an SMS, the timer starts, and he has to resolve the complaint or the service request in the predefined time. Now, for example, in this scenario, for this main TV issue, the predefined time is 20 minutes, right? So if this complaint is not resolved in 20 minutes, it gets escalated to the supervisor. Now, if the supervisor ignores it, it goes on to the HOD, and if the HOD also does not interfere, it goes to the GM. Right? So we have 4 levels of escalations in Geedesk, and in each level the escalation can be sent to multiple people. Now this escalation process creates an accountability and a check at every level, right? Where every level the employee becomes much more accountable, which in turn positively impacts the guest, because he is the one who is receiving great service. So with the automation stuff covered, Geedesk also has an option where you can schedule tickets, right? So if the guest is asking for something late in the evening, instead of creating a ticket in the evening, you can create it right at the spot when the guest has demanded the request, and then the ticket would automatically be assigned to the right person in the right department, when it was supposed to be delivered to the guest. Coming back to the report section, to start with, Geedesk has basic reports, which actually gives you an analysis of the last 7 days to understand what happened, what kind of tickets you received, and how many tickets have been resolved, how many have been escalated, how many are still pending, and so on. And the second type of report that is quite popular with our customers is called custom report. Right? So in this report, customers can actually select the fields that they want and then generate a report. So normally our customers use this report for their morning status calls. Say for example, at the start of every morning meeting, the IT team or the housekeeping team or whichever team is responsible generates the report using this interface, and then that becomes the source of truth for the morning status call. instead of like blindly talking about whose mistake it is and what kind of complaints did they receive, and like whether it was rectified and stuff like that. Now they have a report which in black and white, and that becomes the source of truth, or and the start of discussion for everything. Like it has details like how many tickets were escalated, why it was escalated, which department was responsible for a lot of escalations and things like that. We also have some additional reports which the users can subscribe to if they wish. One report is age report, which alerts the users, whoever is subscribed to this report, of the ticket that's not been resolved in their department for more than 6 hours. Right? No user alert is an option. If enabled, it gives you an alert if there is no possible employee in your department to whom the ticket could be assigned, and it is quite a popular feature among our guests. And there's something called analytics report, which actually gives you the top complaints in your property. In this test account, we have a TV issue, AC issue, TV not working, these kinds of reports, these kinds of complaints as the top complaints in this particular property. Now this complaint, if to put things in perspective, is actually very helpful. Now for example, in your property, let's say TV issue is the number one complaint, right? And for the past 3 months you've been facing this issue, and all your guests have been complaining about the TV not working and stuff like that. Now if we have this report in front of us, let's get in touch with the vendor, do a maintenance, and then observe the report for the next 3 months to understand if there is a decline in TV related issues. If there's a decline in TV related issues, then the maintenance activity was successful. If not, then it was a failure, and maybe it's time to change the vendor or whatever it is. So now, on the first part, this report has helped hotel or given them enough information to decide what kind of maintenance activity to initiate. And once that maintenance activity is done, it also acts as a performance metric for that particular maintenance activity to help us understand if it was successful or if it was a failure. The fourth report is something called Intelligent Insights, which is like a report card for your hotel, which helps you understand the rooms with most tickets and the high performing departments, the top departments which receive lots of complaints, department with most escalations, high performing employees, low performing employees, high performing departments and low performing departments, and so on. You can also generate attendance log report, and we have features where you can manage your employee attendance in Geedesk, and if that interests you, we also have an attendance log which helps you understand employee movement and availability in the property. And we have two important automated reports which obviously our customers like a lot. One is the user report, which gets sent between 12 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. to the HODs and the managers, which helps them understand on what happened in their property for the last 24 hours, how many tickets did they receive, how many tickets were resolved, how many tickets are still pending, and so on. And the GM report gets sent to the general manager of the property between 6 to 6:30 p.m. every day, which is a small which is a simple and brief report which helps the GM understand on what happened in his property on that particular day, how many tickets did they receive, how many tickets are still pending, which department received most tickets, which department had a huge number of escalated tickets, and so on. So it is like a status report which gets sent to the GM every day between 6 to 6:30 p.m. And we also have a report which we call it the agent report, which helps you understand and narrow down to analyze the performance of a particular employee. So if you have an employee in mind, you can select his name, and then if you can select his department, if he's assigned to one department, and then take a report of his performance to help you understand the kind of ticket that he has resolved, the kind of ticket that he has resolved without getting escalated, the kind of high priority tickets he has resolved, and stuff like that, which also helps you reward the right employees with the right kind of appraisals. Now with this, the demo has come to an end, and I have covered all the core features. And one thing that could be interesting for your property is also called VIP guest alert, right? So if you have a VIP checking in your property, you can say select the room number and leave an optional comment and raise an alert, and everyone in your property is notified through an SMS that there is a VIP guest staying in this particular property. And if Geedesk is integrated with your hotel management software, this VIP alert could be automated. Thank you for your time, and I hope you found this basic demo of Geedesk useful. Thank you very much.